Tonight, we ask ourselves, what are GMOs? Are they dangerous? Should we be feeding them to our families? Tonight here on Guttube, we ask the experts.
As I explained in the first chapter of my book, which you would know if you had read it, this has been my life's passion because of what happened to me as a child.
I'll tell you, GMOs are so misunderstood. I've been really passionate about this work for a long time because I think that letting the public know what's actually going on is really, really important.
The most common misconceptions about GMOs, well, that's covered under Chapter 5, which is titled The Most Common Misconceptions About GMOs, which you can see in my book, available at retailers everywhere.
Most common misconception, let me tell you right now, this one's important. You got to know. People say sometimes, like, what does that stand for, GMO? Those stand for words, right? That's the most common misconception. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't stand for anything. They just picked some letters that sounded good next to each other, and they were like, okay, GMO. That sounds scary. We're going to call it that.
Are GMOs dangerous, and should the public be worried? Well, obviously you can find out if you read my book. That's chapters 13 and 14. Chapter 13, are GMOs dangerous? Chapter 14, should the public be worried? And the answers are yes and yes.
GMOs are delicious. The most delicious food in the world comes from this. I don't know, is there some kind of controversy about whether or not we should eat them?
No, they're genetically modifying the produce, the cows, the cereal, the candy bars, the milk. It's all genetically modified. They're monsters.
No, it's not. You know, you don't need to worry about GMOs. You know what you got to worry about? You got to worry about me, Frank. Okay, Frank, I'm coming for you. You understand me? I am coming for you.
Well, you would know that they are dangerous if you had read my book, and that's some free advice. However, if you want to know every little last thing about GMOs and how to be prepared against the coming war, then you'll need to read the book.
That Frank is a dick, okay? That he just... Listen, I know, it looks important because he's in the Barnes & Noble and his face is right there on the cover and everything. It makes him look all official. That fuckhole doesn't know anything. He just, I didn't even know he could read, okay?
Now your book, it hasn't been selling well. Any comments, response to that as to why?
I'm just thinking poor distribution, lack of advertising, most likely slamming from uninformed critics. People with fancy degrees from universities like Yale and Harvard who think they know more about genetically modified organics than I do.
Did you check out the book?
I have not.
It's the big thing. Everybody's talking about it. New York Times book review like he's some kind of fancy big shot all of a sudden. Just full of crap, just full of nonsense. There's no actual truth in that book. But whatever, Frank. I guess you got yourself a publisher. I guess your wife's in the business, so you could just publish a book if you want and put whatever you want in it. I guess that's fine.
If I were walking down the street and GMO were coming in my direction, I would cross the street and walk in the opposite direction and then turn left.
Listen, I think I'm serving a higher purpose. I think I'm doing God's work here, okay? Don't get hung up on what's in your food, people. Deal with Frank. Listen, if you know Frank out there in TV land, if you know Frank, shoot him. Shoot him in the face. Shoot him in the face right now, okay? That's the best thing you can do for the world.
Absolutely titillating. From all of us here at Guttube, I'm Gut, signing off.